And once again, I'm horrified by my own skin tone in HD. Hey, how you doing? I hope you're staying safe and well out there. This is my stand-up for today is Tuesday. I had to think about that for a second. I'm going to try and keep this brief, but there is something I want to talk about at the same time. First of all, I'm absolutely going to continue doing these videos because there was a whole lot of stuff that went through my head in preparing for this today. First of all, the fact that this is late this morning because I did not get a great deal of sleep last night, which is my own fault because I was doing work. And I felt like I couldn't put this video together until I had the answer to a question from yesterday. And that's the thing I want to talk about a little bit more, but that's missing the whole point. It's not about having the answer, it's about what am I doing today. So I think there's some important mindset stuff this is going to flush out. And at the moment, the things basically that I can use to remind myself or to help myself with what I'm doing are huge because mindset's such a huge thing. Like the world is a place. So what's the question that I was trying to solve from yesterday? I went through Forest Paths, Alexander Sword's awesome Forest Paths from yesterday, as I said I would. Not using all of it because I'm just putting together a simple prototype over the next 2 weeks. So I'm not trying to plot out the progression of a full game, but I did want to look at, does this make sense? And so what I had come up with initially was I found two things really helpful from the Forest Paths. One was putting together the pitch statement, which is how all of the aspects of the game interrelate, and looking at also how resources inform actions. And initially, the answer that I had, or the pitch that I had for the game was, I was thinking about like a space trading game. So the player explores, trades, and fights to gather wealth and build stronger ships and equipment to create their own trading empire or cartel or organization. And the thing that stuck with me is explores and trades is one thing, fights is another. Two separate things. And I realized that I needed to dig down into that. And so I've come to a point this morning, and after thinking about this a lot yesterday as well and having some really helpful feedback on Facebook, I've realized that the thing that I want to do, or the thing that is the most compelling experience here, is that being on a ship and giving commands at the helm and getting status reports and all that sort of stuff, set phasers to stun, target engines, all that stuff. I think that's the most evocative, so that's what I'm going with. So what I'm going to be putting together is actually going to be a bounty hunting experience. You're going to man a ship where you're going to be going and doing bounty hunting. And that answers a few other questions for me as well that are kind of irrelevant to what we're doing here. So today what I'm going to be doing is putting together just a basic prototype around the whole action of combat, because if that's not fun, then hunting someone through space, through a bunch of sectors to find them first, doesn't really matter. The reading from Art of Design yesterday, it's time intensive to get through what I'm reading, but it's tremendously valuable because one of the things that I read yesterday is talking about the idea of 50% of your time should go to basically realizing what your game is and implementing it, and 50% should go to polish. So by the end of this week, I'm gonna try to put in stone like a feature lock on this, because even though it's a prototype, I think the experience of going through polish on this is going to be super important, and it's going to avoid trying to make things overcomplicated. It's the thing that always comes out of game jams. I'm already at 4 minutes. I can see the clock over there. It's the thing that always comes out of learned experiences from game jams, which is less features, more polish. So I'm going to try and stick to that. I've got an awesome chat this afternoon lined up with Ashton McCallum, which I'm really looking forward to, which is around complex rule systems, just getting more consulting from a different point of view. I've had some amazing consultation around that already. One of the things, it's the smallest thing, and it might seem silly, but one thing that Ben Sherry said to me last week, which is stuck in my head, is when you're looking at putting a complex rule system together, just pick a number and it'll be wrong, and you'll find out why it's wrong, but pick a number to begin with. Because this morning, and this is part of why this is so late as well, like I was sitting down rehashing, like going through a bunch of information that I had and just trying to nut through like, what is it that I'm doing, going for touchstones, all that sort of stuff. And that same creation paralysis that I've experienced with pretty much everything else that I've tried to push forward as a project, I found that I hit for this, even though it's a fire and forget prototype. And I think that's a really good thing to confront. So I'm really excited about what I'm going to be doing today. I also want to do some back office stuff around I keep a track of in a spreadsheet, like what I'm playing and consuming, and at the moment I'm feeling a little bit listless around that. So I want to put that in stone so I can remember, because I've got some great stuff that I'm like interacting with there. But yeah, I want to get that finalized. I'm gonna continue to clear out my Zoom account, just my recordings, just making sure they're all downloaded and deleted off there, because storage limit is a thing. And yeah, more reading in Art of Game Design as well. So that's me for today. Stay safe, stay well. I'll be putting this up. I'll be putting this up on YouTube. I've decided I'm going to put a playlist together for these morning stand-ups, and it'll be going on my Alexa Development blog and over to Facebook as well, which is all kind of irrelevant to everything, but I thought I'd mention that too. Stay safe, stay well. I hope today treats you awesomely. See you soon.